Was a Hollywood mystery. Who dumped two unconscious women at separate LA emergency rooms on a single night? 24-year-old model Christy Giles was dead on arrival. Her friend, 26-year-old architect Hilda Cabrales, died 2 weeks later. Both women dead from multiple drug intoxication. Their night had started with the women heading for a girls' night out and then ended with them being dumped at the ERs by three masked men in a Toyota Prius. Months later, Hollywood producer David Pearce was charged with 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of furnishing drugs that caused great bodily harm. Actor Brandt Osborn was charged as an accessory after the fact.
Does your client waive formal reading of the complaint and statement of rights, including the armed forces and veterans' rights, and our plea of not guilty, denying all special allegations, enhancements, and priors?
Yes, Your Honor.
Prosecutors also say Pearce was previously charged with sexual assault against 7 different women, spanning a 13-year period. The families of Christy Giles and Hilda Cabrales are hoping for justice.
They're obviously frustrated and saddened to have learned that there was a trail of women who were victimized by David Pearce, and that it took the murders of these 2 young ladies until we got to today where they're finally going to face justice.
This is a different kind of prosecution, not a traditional prosecution, but an important one, a really important one. Opening statements today, and Court TV Crime and Justice correspondent Matt Johnson has a look at today's opening statements.
Vinny, good evening. Powerful opening statements today in the Hollywood overdose murder trial.
Jane Doe 1. And she met the defendant at around 19 years old through an ex-boyfriend at the time. So she showed up to the defendant's house, and when she got there, she was surprised that nobody else was there. And while she was there, the defendant offered her a drink to wait to have and consume until other people got there so they could then go to the car. Jane Doe 1 kindly accepted the drink the defendant gave her, and she starts to immediately feel sick. The next thing you know, she blacks out, and the next thing she remembers is waking up on the edge of the defendant's bed with the defendant raping her.
Hollywood producer David Pearce and actor Brandt Osborn on trial for the deaths of 2 women, model Christy Giles and her architect friend Hilda Cabrales. Both died in 2021. Their bodies dumped at area hospitals by 3 men wearing masks. Today, prosecutors told the jury that the men didn't call for help because, quote, dead girls don't talk, while their defense attorneys told the jury this.
It's going to be proven by the prosecutor that Ms. Giles and Ms. Cabrales, before they even met Mr. Pearce, who incidentally they met at that raid party, okay? They were ingesting alcohol, like everyone, smoking weed, presumably like everyone, but also snorting cocaine and ketamine.
And with respect to Mr. Osborn, the prosecution has shown beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Osborn knew that Mr. Pearce gave these 2 young women drugs that killed them. And you will see it during the trial that that's simply not the case.
And before opening statements, attorneys signaled other Hollywood scandals could be brought up during the course of this trial during testimony, including some big names like Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, and Sean Diddy Combs. Vinny?
All right, it's like rounding up the usual suspects in these kinds of cases, unfortunately. Think Tank still with us, representing the husband of the victim, Christy Giles, in Los Angeles, Josh Ritter. On the phone is Kirk Nurmi and Nima Rahmani, who's also in L.A., former prosecutor with us. So, Josh, this case, it's an aggressive prosecution, but I think it's an important one here, but not the easiest one to prove.
No, you make an excellent point. It is aggressive. Lots of times they would not bring murder charges in a case like this because We all know that fentanyl is an epidemic in this country, and it's an unfortunate reality that thousands of people die every single year from overdoses. But I am so proud of the LA District Attorney's Office for bringing these murder charges in this case, because it does deserve that, because of the history of David Pearce, for the amount of times that he's attacked women in this similar manner in the past, and because of his conduct that evening when Christy and Hilda were at their most desperate and vulnerable, and he could have saved their lives. He instead thought about his own self-preservation and covering up his involvement, and that's what led to their deaths. So good on the DA's office for being aggressive with a case like this.
Nima, what are your thoughts? How does this play out in LA?
It's a big case. It's an important one. I remember covering it on Court TV, and Josh is absolutely right. I mean, our previous DA, George Gascon, didn't have the best reputation of prosecuting cases aggressively, but these are two women who were drugged. One of them was raped, and they were left to die, and it was a really sad, terrible case. So this is a righteous case, a good prosecution. I think there's strong evidence here. You have the internet history, how to dispose of a dead body that's overdosed. You have those text messages that Matt was talking about. You know, dead women, basically, they're not a problem. You know, they can't talk, they can't speak. So really egregious, beyond the pale behavior here. And then you add, California law that allows you to bring in all of this evidence of previous sexual assaults. The jury is not gonna like Pearce at all. Obviously, Osborn, different type of case, still an accessory after the fact. I'm sure the last thing he wants to do is to be tried with this co-defendant that's gonna be this disliked. He's along for the ride. Probably should have taken some sort of deal if he could to get out, because I think the jury's going to convict in this case pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm shocked that he wasn't part of a deal and testifying for prosecutors here. Kirk, your thoughts on this case? I'm looking at it, and it really looks like this is going to be an attack on the victims from start to finish for the defense.
Well, I don't know so much as that, but I think it will be attacked on sourcing, right? The only evidence or the only avenue the defense has to explore is the idea of sourcing, the idea that they were using the drugs themselves. But as Nima pointed out, I think some of the most important evidence in the case is going to be those other sexual assault victims and the way they dropped them off unceremoniously. They could have called 911, what have you. They drop them off at hospitals. So I think that's going to show a pattern of using these women and disposing of them, literally and unfortunately in this case. So I think that's ultimately, and the jury's ire is going to be up. So I agree with what both Nima and Josh said. The prosecution's going to be strong, and the defense really has the only one avenue to go, and that really relates to sourcing.
Josh, how is your client, Christy's husband, holding up?
He's devastated. I mean, he still is devastated, but he's been really admirable in how he's tried to really take up the cause of making sure that as many people know about what a wonderful person Christy was, the life that she lived, that she was much more than just simply being labeled a model, and that this really is a case that he was, one of the people at the forefront knocking on the DA's door saying, please treat this with the utmost seriousness and bring the most serious charges that you can here. So he, this was something that completely blindsided him. It was one of those things where he all of a sudden is unable to locate his wife, and when he does locate her on his phone, he finds out that her phone is now at a hospital and he hasn't heard from her for several hours. So that's the way that he started to unravel what had taken place to her with her that evening. It's a nightmare. It's two people. They weren't living high-risk lifestyles. They were two girls out to have some fun, like so many people do, and their lives ended up with them being dumped at hospitals. It's really a nightmare.
All right, big thank you, Josh Ritter. Check out Courtroom Confidential, folks. It's awesome. Kirk Nurmi, thank you so much on the phone. I know we lost the connection with you. And Nima, always great to see you. All right, folks, when we come back, I will reveal something else you need to know tonight, plus coming up next hour. Tonight on Vinnie Politan investigates the murder of John Benet Ramsey as we reveal new video of a man who has been linked to the case for years. It's part one of our two-part special. Should investigators be looking at this man more closely?
JonBenet is God. A two-night special report.
Exclusive video of the man who claims to be JonBenet Ramsey's killer.
Vinnie Politan investigates. Coming up next, only on Court TV.
A Ponzi scheme and a deadly poisoning.
A former pharmacist already convicted in a federal fraud case.
Now stands trial for the murder of her husband.
The Ponzi scheme murder trial. Live coverage begins next week, only on Court TV.
Full terms and conditions apply.
Time to reveal something else you need to know tonight. Let's take a look at the big board. Michigan mom is missing. This is 30-year-old Ashley Elkins. Her family is desperate for information, desperate to find her, but there have been some developments. She's been missing since January 2nd, and now her ex-boyfriend, DeAndre Booker, has been booked, but not for anything related necessarily to her disappearance, but for lying to police. He was dragged into court, and his apartment was searched. Investigators say they found some useful evidence in that search of the apartment, but nothing yet has led to Ashley's whereabouts or has led to any charges related to Ashley connected to DeAndre Booker. We are going to stay on top of this story for you. Missing Michigan mom Ashley Elkins. Right now, we also have a missing child. Please take a look at your screens. This is Wyatt Dickerson, missing from Galena, Kansas since New Year's Day, January 1st, just 14 years old. This is what you can do. If you see Wyatt, pick up the phone, make the call. You call 911, 1-800-THE-LOST, or you can call the Galena Police Department in Kansas. That number's on your screen right now. Take a close look. Let's see if we can get Wyatt to a safe place tonight.